it will open up the door for you. Let's give that a quick little test. See if I need to readjust that camera. All coming around here, get drive over this, open sesame. Oh, it's ow, ow, ow! G'day, guys. My name's Josh. You can call me JaWoodle, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die in Alpha 18, where I've returned to JaWoodle Park 2. I'm back here to continue testing, continue building, continue experimenting, to try and find out what the best way to repel a zombie horde is going to be. When they're trying to come in and beat down your door, get inside and feast on the gooey goodness that is your brains, you need to know what you can do to try and fend them off. And that is what I'm here to try and find out. And today, we're going to be tinkering around with the powered garage door. We've been doing some stuff with it a lot lately, and it's actually super versatile. It can either be, you know, a door, surprise, surprise, or you can flip it up and turn it into a platform. So I reckon that is something that we can use and probably exploit to make our horde bases a little bit safer. At least that's what I'm here in the park to try and find out today. But before I head out and start building things and testing things and sending a wave of zombies to their untimely deaths, or probably timely deaths actually. They've already died once. It's probably time they died again. I need to go into the Hall of Legends and thank another group of superstars for making all of this possible. And today, we are thanking Will M, Red FX, and Mr. Fancy Pants. I'm sure your pants are super fancy, mate. In fact, your pants are so fancy, you feel the need to tell people. You're not compensating for anything. I'm sure your pants are spectacular. So thank you to all you three and everyone else in the Hall of Legends and the MVP Tower for making all of this happen. You guys keep me breathing and keep me fed and keep me happy. Oh, it's wonderful. Anyway, so with those guys done and the Hall of Legends explored a little bit further, I need to break this all apart actually, because I don't want all this shit in the middle of my entryway. Let's go find a place for me to build and see if we can find somewhere that we can run a couple of tests. This is one of those moments where I really miss the OG JaWoodle Park. JaLabs would have been absolutely perfect for what I want to do today. It's basically just pathing tests to start with, and once we know how the zombies path, then we can start like trying to implement that into a base. But I don't have JaLabs anymore, so I have no like defined place for me to go and build things and test things and do whatever. Maybe it's time I built one though. It's been a little while. I'd probably just like squeeze in a JaLabs around here somewhere. It's a pretty simple build. I'm not sure if I'll use it ever again after this one episode. I'm sure I'll find a use for it down the track. But, I don't know, maybe right next to the Hall of Legends. I mean, JaLabs is going to be a staple of the park. I feel like it needs pride and place, and right next to the Hall of Legends seems like a reasonably good idea. So let's just start carving out a bit of terrain. It's pretty lumpy out here, not really a smooth surface at all. If I just go like that and clear all of that apart, there we go. Doesn't have to be big, it just has to do the job. I saw a glimpse of a comment on a video the other day that mentioned that there was like a model out there somewhere that enabled the fill tool and would make my life so much better. I mean, I'm recording this straight after the Plinko episode, so I was complaining about it then. I'll complain about it again now. But if that was you, if you're the one who left that comment, I saw it for a second, and then I lost it to the ether of the YouTube world forever. So please, if there is a model out there that enables the fill tool, please comment on it again. So I did see it, I just didn't get a chance to remember it. When I went back to look for it, it was gone again. So if there is one out there, please let me know. Because, I mean, look, small builds like this are fine, but it just makes life so much easier if I could just go like, boom, boom, press a button, which would normally be L or whatever in like the POI editor, fill it up with goodness, and go and enjoy my life doing something else. But I mean, so if that's a thing, if you know that's a thing, please let me know, because I would very much appreciate it. It's so nice since the discovery of the cattle grid force field. I don't have to worry about drawbridges and stuff anymore. Like in JaLabs 1, back in OG JaWoodle Park, I had to have a drawbridge there to stop the zombies from trying to like jump off whenever I was testing and run around to the front and try and come up the stairs to get me that way. And it was always kind of a nuisance because sometimes me being me and getting distracted by anything that's even the faintest bit shiny or just moving anywhere. If it's zombies, I want to punch it in the face and I'll forget to close and lock my front door at every opportunity. So without having like that extra risk factor, I can just plop one of these things down, move on with my life, and never have to worry about my home security ever again. Because look, I can just like stand just up here, easy like it, a couple of Chelseas just out there, get their attention and go, hey, how's it going? Oh, what's wrong? You can't find a way to me. I mean, look, you can try and jump up the stainless steel wall if you really want, but then that's not what I want to do. They can't find a way across. So whenever I'm actually testing something over here, I don't need to worry about their pathing getting confused, and they'll all go the right way every time. It's so good. I love the force field. It's so easy, so simple, and so effective. Given this is going to be such an important staple of JaWoodle Park 2, I'm going to make sure that I actually do a proper paint job on this thing and not just kind of half-arse it. So I need to rethink how I've put everything down here. And I think if I just go, like, get some stainless steel ramps, and just kind of build a little ramp underneath just to match like that, that should be just enough. It should look just fine all the way to the top, just up there. I need to also get some regular blocks to kind of fill all this out. I was just going to have, like, the stairs as themselves, but I looked at it, it looked a little bit silly, so I'm going to make like a little platform underneath. Still won't connect the stairs all the way up to it. There will be a little bit of a cavity, but I think that should look pretty okay. Or maybe I should just replace the whole thing with, nah, I like those stairs. Or maybe I'm gonna have to rethink this whole thing. Oh, yep, nope, you know what? I'm gonna go back on everything. I just broke everything down. That's the thing, even though I make mistakes sometimes. If I trust my gut, sometimes my gut gets it wrong, and I break down all the shit I just built because I thought something looked better, get halfway through, realize, nah, I was right the first time. And there we go. I had to extend the force field at the front to match up to the sides of the platform that I built, but other than that, it looks pretty bloody good. It's got some nice rebar frames on the outside, there's some wood in the middle, all looks nice and aesthetic. I like it quite a lot. I've got to do some more work with this, probably like outside of filming, just to make it a little bit more better. Like, I've got the pit that I used to have, but I'm not going to go around and fill that with stainless steel around the outsides just yet, because I can't really be bothered doing that much work while I'm actually trying to do something else. I've already got distracted far too much already, but now that I have this, I can actually start testing the thing that I wanted to test. So I'm going to have to, let's see, I'll build a little, maybe, how wide does it have to be, actually? I'm trying to think, let's go... Ooh, I think it's going to be 3 wide, which is annoying because everything here is even. So it's a little bit off center, but that's okay. We're just going to build this just for some testing. It'll be, I have to find in the long run. So that needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way across to there. In fact, I'll probably just build myself a little platform on the other side to get the zombies up to the right level so I can do all the testing that I want to do. So that should be, this will be like the main kind of drop area, just all the way through there. They'll fall down into the pit down the bottom. I hope, I plan to anyway, but this should give us enough room to do the testing I want to do. I think for this one, and only this one, I'm going to have to build something like this, just most of the way across, not all the way, just to put some garage doors on. I'm going to be testing both the normal garage door, the wooden one you can build like that. Look at that, it goes almost all the way across. So that's 3 wide. Oh, it's probably... I mean, I probably could have made this, I could probably make this 4 wide, actually, now that I've seen how far across the one actually goes, just to make it all nice and symmetrical again. So I'm going to be testing one of those. I'll also be testing the powered ones as well, because we need to know if both of them can work. I'm sure you could do it manually. Powered is always going to be better, but I want to test out both to make sure I've got both sets of data in my noggin ready to go when I have to fight off a big, stinking, decomposing horde. Let's fix up all of these. I did also find a cool little use for the gables as well. You know how I feel about gables, one of the most underused blocks in the game, because you never really ever have a use for it, but I found one. Look, you can go like this, you can get that rotation there, and you can make it match up to some ramps, and it all works out nice and perfectly. A nice little addition to make all the aesthetics just a little bit better, and make life in the zombie apocalypse not quite as bad as it once might have been. Like that, and then look at that! It's all perfect! Ah, I love it when a plan comes together like that. Although it wasn't my plan at all, but I'm gonna claim it anyway. I think the nicest thing about these garage doors is just how easily they kind of overlap. I mean, look, that's going all the way like across the center line to the other block, but you go this one and it kind of matches up nicely again. There's no kind of weird glitching out, there's no nothing, like it's a nice solid platform all the way across. Even though it's fixed up this side over here again, just like that, and paint you that color and paint you that color. All right, there we go. I need to extend that just a little bit further to match up as well. But if that's the way that that's going to work, right, if I have that as an entry point into my base, or a corridor or whatever, if I use this instead of the actual drawbridge, that could work out a whole lot better, because these are way cheaper than a drawbridge. I mean, 90 forged iron, 12 springs, and 50 mechanical parts compared to reinforced drawbridge. Look, 1,000 wood, 100 forged iron, springs, like so more of the same kinds of things, but definitely more of it for the reinforced drawbridge. And then the powered ones, there's a whole nother level on top of that as well. But if you go back to the garage door, the power you can get, I mean, that one's not really going to go to case, it doesn't like go flat again. You can do the XML edit that I did in Alpha 17 to get that to rotate the right way, but everyone lost their freaking marbles when I did an XML edit in the last one, so we're not going to do that again. But this one, what do you take? 94 steel again, springs, mechanical parts, electrical parts. So it's definitely cheaper to do it this way than to make yourself a proper drawbridge, which gets me a little bit excited. You know, I like finding workarounds like from the ways that was probably designed to be. If that's how they wanted me to do it, I refuse to do what they wanted me to do. I will find a different different way to do it. You just watch. First thing we need to do, though, is get a couple of Chelseas out there just to make sure that it is going to work and they are going to path across it. This could make or break all of my designs I have in my head. All right, get their attention, turn on their AI. So fast. Oh, not so fast. So good. They got stuck on the ramps. It's the ramps. It's always the bloody ramps. I mean, they're going for it. They're just stuck. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay. One made it across. I'm accidentally turned off God modes. They do make it across, assuming they make it up the bloody ramps eventually. All right, that's not so bad. That's a good little test. Thank you, Chelsea, for doing that for me. I'll take that into consideration. I'll replace these ramps with some stairs, because clearly that doesn't work. First test worked well. I'll put another couple of cheerleaders over there just to see if they're not perfectly lined up, if they'll still take the desired way. I've got my stairs there now instead of the ramps. No issues this time. Straight across, all the way across, easy as you like. Okay, that is a good sign. That means the things that I think in my head are probably gonna work. Before I get too carried away, let's replace it with the powered ones, see if those ones work, and then we'll do like a back-to-back garage door. So like garage doors facing onto garage doors. See if they'll path across two of them, because if you can chain across two, you can probably chain across as many as you like. Then we could really start getting creative with it. I realized that to test the power drawbridge, I have to put in all like the electricity infrastructure first. I can't really bother doing that right now for one test and to go back to the normals. So I'll just stick with the normals for now. So let's put all the drawbridges up, get them all nice and closed off, get myself a nice little thoroughfare. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm really excited about what this is going to open up for me in the future. All right, let's get their attention, get the Chelseas going. Are you going to come across the double garage drawbridge? Are ya? Oh, look at that. Without even an issue. Without even a second thought. Straight across the guts. Thank you very much, Chels, for giving me the results that I really desperately needed. All right, let's skip the singular power drawbridge, and let's go for the double drawbridge straight off the bat. If it works with this, hopefully it works with that. Hopefully they're the same kind of block and the pathing is the same. At least that's the way that 7 days usually works. If it works with one kind of thing, it'll usually work with the next kind of thing. As always, we're trying to be as responsible as possible, so let's use solar power for this bad boy rather than any sort of fossil fuels. Just because the world's ended and the zombies roam the plains doesn't mean we can continue burning dead dinosaurs for our own game. Let's put that there. Let's put my switch just on the ground there. Doesn't really matter too much. Get power to that and power into this. Now I need the power first because I can't tell what orientation the drawbridge is on. I think my gut feeling is telling me that side is the one to do it on. Let's get you lined up on that side as well, and like that. I'm banking everything on my gut feeling being right. Let's turn everything on and see if I've got it right, or if I have to go destroy all of these and go back and do it again. Let's get them all wired up, because why not? And across to that one, and that one to that one. All right, let's see how this goes. Power on. Oh, gut feeling, you superstar. Look at that. It totally worked. I don't know what told me which way they were facing, but whatever told me it was right, and I've made myself a nice power drawbridge. And the most exciting thing about the power drawbridge, right? In fact, if I go like this and put my switch just there instead, go like that, from you to you, and then you to that one. Yep, there we go. So you close them all up, and the zombies come across. Then when you want to do whatever you want, you go boom, and it opens up super quick, and you can drop whatever zombies are on there down to their deaths. That's kind of why I'm so excited that the pathing can work across the garage doors, because you can make yourself like an insta-kill base drawbridge entry. You can make a thing that you can have the zombies coming for you as much as well. They can come across, and you can keep killing as much as you want. And then when you're done with that, when you want, like, you know, when you want to go take a break, go get some ammo, go whatever you want, you can flick the switch, send the zombies down into a pit of spikes or explosives or whatever, kill all of them, and when you come back and want to fight again, you flick the switch, open up, well, I mean, close the doors, and you can come across again. As a drawbridge entry, that's about as good as it gets, I think. Like, you could even rig this up with a motion sensor. In fact, I might a little bit. So you can be rolling up on your bike, the camera will see you on your bike, close the bridge for you, you roll across easy as Barry, and then you're in your base, and it opens again behind you. And that's, just as like a cool base entry, that's freaking as good as it gets. Before I get too carried away though, let's put my body over here. Let's pop out of my body so I can see what happens. I need my HUD though. Get the zombies' attention. Alright, AI on. Are you gonna run across those power drawbridges just like you did the other ones? Yes, you are. Oh, yes, guys. That is a good time. I am happy as Larry, snug as a bug in a rug, eating a pack of Doritos. That is everything that I wanted this to be. Alright. tests have been successful. Now it is time to take this idea, and you know what? I was talking about that base entry a second ago. Let's build ourselves a base entry. JaWoodle Park 2 needs an entryway. Let's build it out of this, because why friggin' not? So I've had this area over here, just at the entryway off the road to JaWoodle Park 2, lined up for a little while, but I haven't really had any ideas of what to do with it. But now that I've been stuffing around with this for long enough, I reckon this is going to be the perfect entryway to my park. So I'm going to build myself like a bit of a gate just over here. That looks like the right spot for you. Let's go from like... Let's go from here. In fact, let's make a 2-box block. That's how big that gap is. We'll go all the way across to this bit here, like that, and we'll put that there as well. So that'll be kind of the dimensions of the actual gate, but I'm going to make it so that the actual path to get in opens and closes behind me. I mean, it's not going to be that wide, because that's way too wide. I'm going to build some gate out of that and actually make it, you know, match up to the garage door drawbridges as much as I can. But this will work, I think, and I think it'll look really cool. I mean, I hope it's going to look really cool. Otherwise, I'll have to destroy everything and start again. Because we can't have things that look ugly and ridiculous inside JaWoodle Park 2. Aesthetics matter. I say it all the time. Did a little bit of building and figured out that the ideal placement for the 2 garage doors is 5 blocks apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the door. Because when you do it like that, they almost meet up perfectly. They end up with like this like 2-inch wide gap up the top here. Now, if you're like me, 2 inches is a lot of space. I'm not really worried about that. That's plenty of room for me to squeeze into and do whatever I need to do with. But if you're like anyone else, you're worried about that and think, oh, I don't know, that might catch my bike tire. And you're probably right to think that, because it absolutely does. It's kind of the only kind of drawback to this. You could make it look like 1 block closer, make it 4 blocks wide instead of 5. But I'm thinking more down the track. If you're investing this much materials into stuff, you've probably got a Jeep or a motorcycle or at least a freaking mini bike or something. So the bicycle will kind of get stuck a little bit. You ride along and look, you can kind of see, yeah, there you go. You kind of get your back wheel or even your front wheel if you're really unlucky. Boink, just like that. You can kind of get yourself stuck a little bit. Not too bad. I mean, you can always get yourself out of there, but that's not going to cause an issue down the road, because if you're at this level and you've got your 4x4, grab you. I'll also need some gas as well, because you need some gas to fuel this petrol guzzling machine. If I place you up there and I go like this and go gas up, oh, that's the wrong one. I can drive this across here with no real issues, no getting stuck, no nothing, easy as you like, and that will work absolutely perfectly. So not perfect for bicycles. If you want this for a bicycle base, just move it 1 block in. 4 blocks wide will do the trick, and I'll get that nice little overlap going, and you'll be safe as houses. But that's what I'm going to do for this one. That's all I need. Plus, I've got a nice thick line down the center to aim for too. It's going to take a bit more building to get this to look what it's been. Like, this has to be the nice, big, fancy entrance into the park. There's going to be a lot of building that's going to go into that. But just as like a proof of concept, this is going to work just fine. Like, down here, I reckon I could probably even go, like, make this like pit a little bit deeper, fill it with spikes or something. But I haven't quite done it just yet. But look, if you come over here and you flip that switch, it all opens up easy as you like. And the really nice thing about this as well is you can get another drawbridge, not drawbridge, another garage door. I'm calling it drawbridges now by accident. I think that's the right way. I don't know. Can I get my wire tool and just give it a quick little test run? You to there, open. Yep, it is the right way. Okay, good. So you can get those all connected up. You can stop that one going, connect you back up to there. I clicked the wrong thing. And you can get yourself some motion sensors. I've got some other things I want to do with the motion sensor. And you can bang that bad boy right in the middle, right like that, right on the wall. Connect you up to the solar like this and like that, and you down to the bridge. So when that sees you coming from a mile away, you aim it like down to like here, I suppose. So you could be cruising up in your Jeep, and right at the last moment, it will open up the door for you. Let's give that a quick little test. So we need to readjust that camera. It'll come around here, you can drive over this, open sesame. Oh, it's ow, 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 okay, that was bad, that was bad. Dude, you need to get some power duration. You need to stay on for like 10 seconds, I suppose. I just got crushed in my own freaking door. I got split in half inside my Jeep. That was a bad time. Let's put you back over here. Let's go back to this one and go you, and we'll look further out like that. So right about there, actually, I think. So as soon as I kind of get onto that bridge, it will see me and it will open sesame for me. All right, there we go. Wait for the door to close again. 10 seconds is probably a bit long. You got to close. Any point? Come on, yep, there we go. Okay, so we come up here, we pull through the gates, we come up to the door, it opens like that, and we are in to the park. Perfect, absolutely perfect. I need to build like some more gates to go with this, but that's exactly what I wanted it to be. You need to just chill your beans, and maybe only like 4 seconds should be enough, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That'll work fine. I'm going to put a camera right at the front as well. It's got a 10-second delay, and then you're going to be in charge of opening up all these doors for me. So from you to there, and then all the way across. Sorry, all these current garage doors. Although I probably should test it out as well when it's open like this to see if the zombies will try and path along the top here. I've just got some sheets on the inside just to kind of make it look a little bit better. Let's go from there. I mean, I'll sort out the wiring another time. I do want to get one of those mods that has like invisible wiring just to make my life look a little bit better. All the way up to that one. That ought to do it. So when I get into the beam of this one, I cruise on up like this. I go, how you going, camera? It opens the doors for me. I cruise across, opens that door straight through. Look at that! That's absolutely perfect. Although okay, 10 seconds is still way too long for that. There's like a horde of zombies following me. They're gonna have plenty of time to get across. Maybe we'll just keep that for 5 seconds. I'll go get my Jeep. That should be enough time. That's working perfectly, though. I mean, look, there's still some building to be done to make it aesthetically pleasing, but functionally, that is absolutely spick and span. All right, here we go. We pull up, camera sees me, opens the doors for me, cruise on down, and straight on through. Lovely dovely, and it's going to close soon at some point. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? When the doors are open, it means it's closed. Right, okay, I get it. Now, I did dig a ditch on either side to kind of fill it with spikes, because after all, there's no point having a drawbridge if the zombies can just walk around the other side of it. But, I mean, I kind of want to put some spikes down the bottom. The zombies will avoid it anyway, but just for aesthetic reasons, I think that'll work nicely. That works absolutely perfectly. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Let's let it close, though. Let's put a couple of zombies out all the way out there. A couple of zombie cheerleaders, just like that. And if I stand right here with the doors all open and exposed, get your attention. Are you guys, what do you got? You gonna run across the tops? Nah, gonna go around the other side. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. I was really worried they would see that as an option and come across there. Right, okay, that's how I'm going to build the base entry to JaWoodle Park 2. There's still some more work to do on it, as I keep saying. But I also want to test, what if you want to build something a little bit smaller? You know, what if you want to have, like, a moat around your base, and then just use a couple of these to get across it that way? So rather than using the drawbridge lengthways, can you use it widthways, like that, instead of the other way? So I'll quickly build a little bit over here, put a couple of those things up, and see if that's going to work as well, because we won't know until we test it. So let's just get a couple of these down, get them all closed up, and see if a zombie will still path across rather than along a garage door. Just to make sure there's as few issues to this as possible, I'll put a couple of sheets just over the top of the little entryway here so that the zombies don't trip and fall into the hole or anything, just like that. There we go. I mean, look, I know it doesn't line up perfectly, but it's good enough. It should do the job just to see if it's going to work out the way it does in my head. There's still that gap in the middle, so I'm testing this at, like, its most extreme, because it works like this. It should work as you move it closer and closer and closer, because if you had it like that, that's going to make a perfect drawbridge across, like, your moat around your base. Should you decide you want to build something like that. I'm just here to give you guys ideas, design ideas for how you might want to build your base. All right, let's have that like that. Let's pop out of my body. Let's get a couple of Chelseas out here. There we go. They've already got, they've already caught the stench. Oh, they don't like it. They don't like it at all. Damn it, I was really hoping they would. Okay, so if they don't like it like that with that little 2-inch gap, apparently to Chelsea, 2 inches is a pretty big deal, which is good for me. No wonder she's my favorite. If I get rid of you and I move you just that little bit closer in, will that mean that it will work for me? Damn it, I always do that. Always bloody do that. I hate the bloody sand. It doesn't hold anything. Every time I try to build anything off it, it all crumbles beneath me. Let's go like that. Let's get you hooked up to this one, like that and like that. Okay, now we have some pretty significant overlap, which means it should hopefully work. If this doesn't work, then they just won't path across the drawbridge, which for your design might work out pretty good for you. I know, like, originally, this is kind of the design that I wanted to have the drawbridge like this, that I could open and close for my own comings and goings, but I didn't want the zombies to get across. So you could definitely use something like that if you so desired. Let's get a couple of Chelseas. Let's test it again. Get their attention. All right, come on, Chelsea. What about this time? Nope, still doesn't like it. So different horses for different courses. That's good to know, though. So what you could do here is you could build yourself a wedge-tip block gap or something, like, oh, I used to call it a 1/8 block gap, some way to drop the zombies down and get them to start again. But then when you want to leave the base, you can close the doors and use that as your own personal drawbridge. So you can use it either way, depending on the function that you actually want. But that's very good to know. You can use the same block for 2 different things. Rather than just doing a pretty average job of describing the things that I see in my head, which would frighten really anyone if you get a glimpse inside there, so I wouldn't recommend it. So rather than just trying to describe it to you, I'm just going to build a quick and nasty little version of it to show you guys exactly what I'm thinking. So this is, I mean, look, there's a wire going across it, but I'll fix that up later. This is, we all know, the wedge tip block gap. The zombies will come up, they'll fall down, they'll go down to like a spike pit, or down to the ground to do the loop again. Whichever you prefer, you can build that however you like, but on either side we now have the powered garage doors. So with a flick of a switch just over here, we go from a zombie proof entryway to a Josh entryway, and I can get in and out across this easy as you like. You can build yourself like a ramp or anything you like over here to get your bike or your Jeep, or if they build this flat into the ground if you so desire. Whatever you want to do, you can do, but you can get across here easy as anything, and the zombies, assuming the door is actually closed, which would mean you have to go back to the thing I was talking about before. We have to remember to close your front door against the zombies. Is the apocalypse, you should probably remember that, but that will work just fine. So like that, it is good for me, but it'll also mean the zombies can get across. Let's spawn a couple in just so I can show you, make sure I've got their attention. They will come up and they will get straight across there with no issues. Just like that. See, no worries at all. Which is interesting, because that really didn't work before. That's got like the 2-inch gap in the middle of it. But that's okay. Alright, they make it across there. No whackers. Probably because they have the blocks underneath. They're pathing across this, but the drawbridge is keeping them from falling down, which kind of makes sense now that I say that out loud. But if I get this, and I close that off, which is good, and I get a couple more Chelseas, and they come for me now, they won't even get close. I can stand right here in my base doing whatever, and Chelsea will not make it. In fact, interestingly, she fell down the opposite side of that little wedge tip block there. Let's kill them, and let's get another little bigger group, see if that's any different. There we go. That's a whole bunch, a whole horde of cheerleaders coming for only me. Boy, am I a lucky guy. Go on, here we go, and down the inside this time, but no issues whatsoever. So they go down there, they fall to their deaths, and then when I go out to a raiding the next day, close the doors, and away I go. Easy as you like. So that is, I mean, that's going to be the most efficient and easiest way to make yourself an effective drawbridge. Whichever way you want to do it. You can do it this way, going lengthways if you so desire. You can do it that way if you want to go across a short little pit and make your killing corridor into something a little bit easier for you to get across. Whichever way you want to do it, it'll work out for you. I'm so glad that worked the way it did in my head. It's perfect. But there you go, guys. That is the easy zombie-proof drawbridge. I would actually, I mean, I'm going to be using that instead of the normal drawbridge whenever I can. It's cheaper, it's better, and it's more versatile, and that is a combination I can really get behind until the fun pimps see this video and decide to ruin all our fun and try and break it. But I don't know, maybe they can't. Maybe the pathing on those kind of things is too ingrained in the game for them to do anything about. But you can use that. Please go use that however you want. I'm just here to give you guys ideas about how you can improve your bases, and that is a pretty bloody good one. So I'll have to come back to JaWoodle Park and continue the test and build and try out some other cool ideas in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to all the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure to like button down below, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.